Holy shit, we are late.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
It's been a
There's
while.
some
It's been a while.
miscommunications,
It's been a while.
scheduling conflicts. My people tried to call his people. His people tried to call my people.
You
The
know,
whole
it
thing.
didn't work out in the whole company. There were a lot of let go. We had a lot of people go. You know, we had a new CEO and everything. You know, things just didn't exactly
Yeah,
go to plan.
like the shifting. Shift switching and
Obviously.
some scheduling issues. There, I think there was like a monkey that got into the office one day
I know,
too.
it's
Was
fucking
there?
crazy. Then he started
Yeah.
walking around in a pimp costume. Anyways, welcome back to Cabbage Radio Hub. I'm with my co-host Zio, who's still in the pimp costume. I think you might
Oh
have
yeah.
a
Wait.
problem.
Did I send you
You
the
did. You
profile
did.
picture? Okay. Yeah. Everyone knows I'm all fancy and swanky right now. You're just jealous,
Obviously.
bro.
I know, but welcome back. How have you been, Zio? Because it's been a hot minute.
I have been good. I've been doing things. Destiny 2 got me back into the addiction with the new DLC, and I'm gone. I it's every literally just when I think I'm out, they pull me right back in and steal my money away. And yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been writing, I've been productive, I've been doing things, so I feel good.
Yeah, that's great. Man, it's been a while. I've been busy. I've been kind of drained after that Puss in Boots video. That
Oh
was a
yeah.
big video. That was a
Oh
really huge
dude, and now
video.
you got the TMNT one coming that I know you're gonna make.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna make that one. I'm probably not gonna do like it on the trailer, but you know, I'll do one on the movie when it comes out.
Yeah.
I don't really have.
I
I
know
don't.
it's not on the schedule, but quick. That TMNT trailer was just
Oh my
chef's
god,
kiss. It
yes.
was
Mwah. I
perfection.
love the animation. I love the voice acting. It's so fucking cool.
Dude, that ending shot. Donnie gets hit with the ninja star, and like everyone's like, oh god, like the panic and chaos, and just the Mikey, look out, and I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be so good. Like,
It's fucking great. People get mad that people are so whole like pressed about fuck, what was her name again? How did I
oh
forget
yeah,
the
April,
name? Yeah,
yeah,
April. Like
April is
people like everyone's
April's
so
black,
pressed about April being black and also fat. Like what's the problem?
and I don't know, dude. It's like on the one hand, where you have the Stan Lee side quote where he said, I is basically I have no like he's like I got no problem with making with any of these characters, just make them, and there's no reason to change what's already been established. I get that side of the camp. And then there's just the people that like it was like clockwork. I looked at one of the responses, and it was like, why, like, being fat's not the problem. Why is she black? I'm like,
Oh my god.
sir,
What the fuck? She's black in the comics.
why
Huh?
would you comment that?
Like
Like,
you're blatantly being racist, but god.
I don't even know if you are,
Do
but your
better.
phrasing, like, come on, there's
Do
better
better.
ways to phrase
Yeah, there's so
that.
many better
Of
ways
like,
to phrase it.
the thing I'm upset about is I'm like, does she have the hair though?
I
Like that's all.
guess.
That's all I care about. I haven't seen her in the right lighting, so I'm like, I have no idea. I
I
won't
mean,
even really
I
like
guess it doesn't like really matter to me that much.
it.
It's not
Well,
that big a
that's because you
deal.
don't have a weakness for redheads like I
Oh
do. All
my
right,
god. Yeah, I guess.
listen, I have a reputation to live up to. All right.
Sure you do. But yeah, it's gonna be a crazy podcast. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Before we get into that, I have a motherfucking Patreon. Yeah.
Let's go.
I've
Is
subdued
this a Patreon
I've been sub
exclusive now?
no, it's not. But I've been subdued and I have surrendered to the system. I have now surrendered to the establishment. I am the problem.
Uh, you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Exactly. So yeah, just a quick thing about that. I do have a Patreon for like up to $6 a month. Patreon.com/Capital. You know, you get some pretty nice stuff. I haven't exactly like figured out all the works for it yet. Like
Give
$1.
me like 2 weeks and I'll have another paycheck, and I gotta do the math on
Well-
what I need to cut back on so I can subscribe.
Well, for $1 a month, you get early access to videos, and you get your name at the end of you get your name at the end of my videos, and I think I also added where you get basically extended versions of my recordings, like bloopers and such, for when I make stupid fuck ups, because I screw up a lot. I screw up so much when I record. I take so many other takes. I'm thinking, let's turn this into a joke somehow. And then for $3 a month, you get a Discord server that I've already set up. I have everything set up. You get a Discord server that you have access to.
Oh, cool.
And
I actually
then
didn't know that you set that up.
I did set up, but it's only for Patrons only. I don't have a public server yet. That's for way later down the line.
Yeah. See, I'm not allowed in yet.
You're not
I'm
cool
the
enough.
co-host, but I'm like
Exactly.
That doesn't get me preferential treatment.
Yeah, and then also you get the access to my scripts and other Q&A polls and suggestions. By the way, I haven't done any polls because I'm waiting for actual patrons to subscribe. So hey, maybe you'll subscribe now. You can subscribe only $3 a month, and you get a bunch of other cool stuff.
Dude, I'll keep plugging you. Got you, homie.
But if it's $6 a month, you what was it? I have a bunch of other cool stuff. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've checked the $6 a month. But you also get actual verbal shout out at the end of my videos. You also get the scripts are for $6 a month. I forgot what I gave. See, this is why I shouldn't make a Patreon. I'm out of it.
You gotta be on top of this, because otherwise you might be we can't have you doing false marketing right
Look,
here.
you can literally just check the description below, patreon.com/Cabbage, and it's right there. It's just all my things are right there written down. That way, even if I forget about it, you know what it is. So sorry if I forget things, because I'm an idiot. So just go and subscribe. It's only for up to $6 a month, or if you're insane, you can subscribe to $5,000 a month. You get control over my entire channel. Anyways, so for today, we have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. The one thing I've been really wanted to talk about that I don't think we've ever brought up on this podcast before is that the D&D movie looks so fucking cool.
Was oh my god.
I absolutely love Dungeons and Dragons. I've been playing it for a year now. It is so much fun, and I've gotten so invested for it. I have so many dice and Dungeon Master things. I have too many things. I am addicted.
Down the dice rabbit hole?
I went down the dice rabbit hole. I have a Scanlan short haul dice. I am committed.
Well, that's pretty good.
But yeah,
that is a dangerous rabbit hole to go down.
Oh, it definitely is. But I think I have enough dice for the time being. But yeah, I absolutely love D&D. I've been working on making more D&D content, like D&D shorts. I haven't had a good system yet on when I should upload those shorts, but it's coming eventually.
I've watched a couple of them. They're pretty fun.
Yeah. I do plan on doing other things outside of the character ideas. I just don't know exactly what yet. But hey, you can always leave a comment description below, because I don't really have that many ideas. I don't have good ideas, so give me some good ideas so that way I can blatantly take them. What am I talking about? No, I'm not stealing ideas. But
speaking of the D&D movie, it looks like a pure this is a D&D campaign.
Yes.
And it's not like they're trying to tell a hugely moving story or fantasy setting story. This is a D&D campaign.
Exactly.
Kind of played serious, where it's we're not gonna. I don't think they'll show us the players at the table.
No, I don't think they'll do that.
So it's being played kind of serious there.
It's played like an actual movie, but it's D&D.
Yeah, we're gonna hit those tropes. And so for people who play, that's where it's gonna be the
oh my god, yes. I've already noticed so many things. It's great.
Notice I said for the people who play, because there's people who don't play that have been watching it, and they're commenting on how this doesn't feel like D&D, and I'm like,
get out of
sir,
here.
like,
Watch literally anyone play a session of D&D and then go back to the trailers and just ask yourself, is this really, like, am I commenting the right things here?
well, the funny thing about it too is like people like D&D is a fantasy setting
Oh
most
yeah,
of the time.
obviously.
Yes, it takes like it when it was made, it took inspiration from Lord of the Rings on and like pretty as like because that was, you know, the basis for all fantasy.
Obviously.
It takes inspiration, but the second you actually get into a campaign, I saw a meme about this and it's extremely accurate where it's the party, what the party thinks they look like in D&D, and it's, you know, the Lord of the Rings, it's the Fellowship, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, all standing there. And then it goes to what they actually look like, and it's Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And if Monty Python and the Holy Grail doesn't describe what 90% of D&D campaigns are,
I love it.
It like that is what you're going for, because yeah, there's serious moments in D&D. 90% of the time it's the party being absolute idiots trying to figure out
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, have you seen that clip where they talk to a skeleton?
The questions, man.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Like that entire clip is just only 2.5 minutes long, and it just perfectly represents what D&D is. Like,
it is something that has happened like to so many people in their campaigns.
Like, I don't know if it's showing off just how evil a dungeon master can be, or if this is just showing off how stupid players are, or both.
It's both, man. Like, oh, I love it. I love it.
This
so
movie
much.
looks so fucking hilarious, man. Like, even
honestly,
just like outside the clips, like even the full trailers itself, it just looks so funny for like their quips and their rants with each other, and even with the new trailer came out where he's like, okay, whatever you do, don't activate the mechanism. Steps on a plate, immediately activates. Like, I may have activated it. Like, you think that would be a joke that you would like, but it's so funny just because it's D&D.
The other thing too is like you think that wouldn't happen normally, but that's like bro failed the perception check. Like.
That's exactly what always happens. Like it's always like the stupidest things that happen in campaigns.
Well, and that's why I think this movie is going to be like doubly fun for anyone who plays it, because they're gonna sit there and like anytime a group of like the characters in the movie will fail something or do something, I know in everyone's head they're gonna be going, they failed the check. Like,
yeah. Yeah, and dude, like even outside the humor, this movie looks so fucking cool. Like I love the designs behind the dragons, the gelatinous cubes, the displacer beast looks great, the mimics. God,
dude, the mimic is good. Like I see the mimic and instantly it's not D&D, but my Dark Souls kicks in.
The like, goddamn
get away.
The mimic. I love it. Dude, like they went so goddamn hard with designing the monsters and like even designing like the environments and choreographing the combat. They did not need to go this fucking hard.
Dude, what's gonna be great is like Chris Pine as the bard.
Yeah.
That is
honestly, I love that these aren't like big celebrity actors. That makes it even more or like humanized.
I think he's the only like big name, like big
actor. Yeah.
Hugh Grant, who's one of the villains, like the big bad evil guy of the I really don't want to see you die, which is why I'm gonna leave the room. Like that is perfect.
I love it.
That is such a good D&D thing. Like
God, and the combat looks so fun, man. Like
the thing I will say though, I don't know if it's gonna be better than Vox Machina.
Oh no, you know what? Okay. Well, to be fair, you gotta compare a movie to like a 2-season long TV show.
That's fair, like, and an animated TV show.
Yeah, and animated too. Like you can do so much more animated.
Yeah.
God, Vox Machina. Oh my God, like. Season 2 is so much better than season 1.
Dude, watching that final fight with Kevdak going through from because I'd seen it in the campaign.
Yeah, you see the campaign and see the differences, and you see just
God.
how much better it is in the show than it is in the campaign.
Well, plus it's that added layer to like it's a cool moment in the campaign.
But
where,
when you actually like see it like before your eyes, like in animation, it's
well, and
so
also
great.
Travis William getting to like say, Vox Machina fuck shit up like in a completely different tone that like gets you even more pumped.
Yeah, and man, having metal just canonically like rock metal just canonically exist in like a fantasy medieval time is the greatest thing ever.
We still need Scanlan's mixtape to drop.
We do. I have been searching and searching for that Raid song on Spotify, but I cannot find it anywhere.
I need that tavern song.
Oh my god, yes. That was great, dude. Sam Riegal is such a talented composer. I've always seen clips of him in the campaigns as making songs like on the spot, and every time you watch like him sing in the show, it's like, yeah, this is something that Sam Riegal would do on the spot if he were actually in the campaign.
Yeah, it's so fun.
God, Scanlan has also like become my second favorite character in the entire show.
It's Grog, bro. It's Grog.
He's like sandwiched between Grog and Percy.
Yeah, dude, Percy's story in season 1 was really fucking good.
Yeah, that's how you make a dark, edgy character, honestly.
It was
for any new players that want to make an edgy character, watch Vox Machina season 1.
One thing I'll say, like I have seen people throw the Mighty Nine, their second campaign is like the better one because I guess the characters are just better, and because people will throw that the season 1 Vox Machina is Vox Machina is like the D&D stereotypes, I guess, because it's their first campaign.
Yeah, obviously.
I kind of like that a lot more than the the rest, the Mighty Nine that does like wholly different types of characters going through, because I just really enjoy the D&D stereotypes.
Right, like
they're just so much fun.
Yeah, like you don't you don't really need very complex like stories to make a good character. And that's always been like my thing. Sometimes simple stories work completely fine.
You don't even need like a character to be that complex in their backstory or like their personality as well.
Right.
Grog is a very simple character. He is the big guy, the big lovable dumb guy in the group. But he has so much to him that's like he fits a specific role, and there's still so much to that character that he goes through. It's less about what is there as well when compared to what the character goes through, because Grog goes through a really cool story arc in season 2. And like the same thing with Percy. Percy's like all the characters are pretty simple, but they go through really good story arcs.
And the story basically unfolds with the characters, and that is also perfect for representing D&D, because a lot of the time, like if you're with a really good DM, your story is going to continue as the story in actual like quote unquote plot goes along, because a lot of the time your characters are going to be revolved around the world that you're living in, because that's the advantage of having an interactive game like D&D.
Oh yeah, like the DM will sometimes reveal like this is your father, adding to your backstory, and it's like whoa, wait, what? So you have to go along with it.
Yeah,
and it makes for really fun stuff.
Yeah, it's insane. Take Scanlan for example. He's a horny bard. It's the most stereotypical thing about a bard that you can ever think of. But he goes through a really, really interesting character arc in season 2, and it just works because you have a horny bard that has no idea that doesn't really that is afraid to commit to true love. So that's why he's horny in the first place. So it's and when he gets to the point in season 2 where he realizes that he made a child, he doesn't know how to handle things like that because it's showing that he might want to actually try and be committed to true love for once.
Oh man, it's so good.
Dude, and that
I
Sphinx song. That Sphinx song is like one of the greatest scenes in that entire show.
I I think honestly the funnier part for me was watching him divulge when he meets his daughter, watching him divulge the whole story,
Yeah.
and it was just nope, wrong, because he failed the I think he failed the persuasion check
No, he
too.
failed it. No, because I did see the back to back. He failed the insight check, but he
That's
passed the
right.
persuasion check.
Yeah,
It's great. But
funny.
yeah, like the Sphinx song is by far one of the great, like by far my favorite scene in all of Vox Machina because when we get to that point, you think that this is because it's like very early in season 2. I think it's like episode 3, but you get to that point where like he's alone. There's no like not all of his friends are presumably dead, and he's fighting the Sphinx where he has to hit him, like actually hurt the Sphinx. And the Sphinx is like, I wonder how Osisa convinced you to follow her. And then Scanlan's like, wait a minute, I know I can just write a song about this. And when you hear it for the first time, it's like, okay, this is gonna be a very goofy, funny song about, Griffin sex. But then he actually like plays a piano and you think, is that actually like genuine?
Yeah, like it goes so hard too. Like the piano hits. I also love
God.
that they just lean so heavily like everyone having these abilities. Like the bard is the music guy.
Yeah.
So he makes his own instrument. Like he just starts playing a piano in the air with his magic. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really good. And honestly, it was so like out of pocket. Like you did not expect something like that to come from Scanlan. And that really is telling for how his whole character is, but it's also showing like how much he was hiding, like how much he was basically like in his own shell because he was afraid of that commitment because he didn't know how things were going to go or he felt like he wasn't deserving of that love. And like he even says to the Sphinx, like, I really want this, but I just can't seem to get it right because he's always trying to look for love, but he's just has to be willing to open up was a problem. And that really was showing towards the end of the season.
He was the wisest sage he's ever come across.
Yeah, it's
I love that.
yeah, I fucking love this. Like it even ends on a little joke, which is great. Like
My thing.
Scanlan's such a great character, man. I love him.
I love the show.
Yeah.
My thing though is Vox Machina they've been collecting hobbits for the show because they had Dominic Monaghan in season 1, who plays Merry in Lord of the Rings. He was the dwarf, Percy's dwarf friend. I'm trying to remember. From Whitestone.
What's that?
Percy's buddy from Whitestone.
Oh yeah, the the dwarf.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember his name.
I don't remember. Oh my, yeah, because he died pretty early in season 1.
He does. Well, and so that was they had Dominic Monaghan voicing him, and then
Yeah.
in season 2 they brought in Pippin from Lord of the Rings to voice Garmelie. They had Billy Boyd in there to voice Garmelie. So now I'm like, all right, so when's Frodo and Sam showing in the show? Where's Sean Astin and Elijah Wood? Come on. One Hobbit per season. Come on.
It's all coming together. They're gonna form the Lord of the Rings.
Indeed, let's go.
Yeah, but Vox Machina is so fucking cool. I'm so excited for season 3 when they finish off the rest of the Kona Conclave. It's gonna be great.
And then the D&D, like, it's a good time to be a D&D
Oh yeah,
fan.
it's such a great time, which is very ironic considering how the past couple months were originally the worst time to be a D&D fan, with Wizards of the Coast being absolute shitheads. But they went a full 180. It's like, nope, okay, we're going back.
Yeah,
Like
like, it was fast.
it's been such a it was like such a whiplash. You went from just absolutely just not feeling comfortable playing D&D after Wizards of the Coast establishing its new OGL and people being very upset about it and its whole controversy going on, to just nope, everything's back to normal and just absolutely falling in love with it again. It's great.
It feels good.
Oh yeah, it always feels good to be a D&D fan.
All right, and all right, what shall we hit next then?
Oh,
Should
you
we hit
know, I think we should probably hit up The Last of Us because it is coming to a close. I mean, honestly,
right.
by the time this upload releases, it might already be done because I'm very terrible at uploading.
Here, let me hit you with something right now. I have something to say about this show.
Oh no, he's going on the fucking tinfoil hat moment.
No, this isn't a tinfoil hat because it happened. All right, it happened. There's no excusing this. The Last of Us has become a 0 out of 10 for
Oh
one
god
very
damn it!
specific reason. There was a certain very special Easter egg in the game that did not make it to the show, and I will never forgive them for this. They've disrespected it so much before.
Look,
Yes, I'm extremely bitter.
because Jack and Daxter doesn't appear in everything you wanted to,
Wait, that's an Easter
doesn't
egg!
mean that you can be
They
upset about the whole
disrespect.
show.
They disrespect on my boys, all
One
right?
Easter egg does not mean the whole show is
It's
bad.
not just the Easter egg, all right? They released The Last of Us Part 1 video game. They announced it like a week after the 20th anniversary of Jak and Daxter. They did nothing. They spat on the game. They pooped on it, and then they rubbed it in the face with The Last of Us remake. And I'm mad, all right? I am furious.
Go.
And they just wanted to add salts and some lemon juice onto that wound. They just had to do it, and they had to remove the Easter egg. I don't care that the outbreak happened in 2003 when Jak and Daxter may not have come out yet, because it did happen. It did happen in 2003. All right, the game came out then, so they could have had a Jak and Daxter Easter egg, but no.
Go, son. Go play your Jak and Daxter speed runs when you get off. All right. Go play your Jak and Daxter speed runs after this. You'll be fine.
Right?
You'll be fine.
All right. The show's been fine. Fine.
God. Anyways.
I think that's a good rant. I think it did good.
That's not a good rant. That's just a rant.
No, that was a good one.
That's not a good one.
You can put that in my top 10. That's up there. Like that's up there with my Spider-Man rants, all right?
Listen, if you can make a compilation, go for it. But I do not have the time or patience to go through all these podcasts to make a compilation, to make a top 10. There's too many. There's too many. God, but anyways, The Last of Us is actually really good. He's just mad right now.
I am very mad and bitter. I do have some reservations on the show. Like, it's been good throughout. I think it has. I think like not every episode is equal in quality, but I don't think we've gotten to like bad territory really with the show. Like I this might be my controversial take, but episode 7 is just a lesser version of episode 3. I'm sorry. I had to speak my piece.
Is that for Left Behind? Is that Left Behind? Yeah, okay, I figured.
That's Ellie and Riley. I am sorry. I don't know what it was exactly about that episode, but I think it was trying to do.
You just don't like homosexual relationships in TV shows.
I loved episode 3. Ron Swanson can get it, all right?
You just think that every homosexual relationship is the same.
No.
Well, you're saying that episode 7 is basically episode 3, so it
No, I
must be
said it was
true.
a lesser version, Twitter, all right? You can't twist my words.
I can absolutely twist your words.
Man has the editing power. He's going to edit my audio.
Don't tempt me. But yeah.
But yeah, like I think it was a bit too long for them. I think if they condensed it down, it might have hit a bit harder because it felt like it dragged in certain areas.
I mean, I can definitely see a points, but I mean, at the same time, it kind of was. I was like, it kind of was a whole point of the episode is to like just show these two hanging out because it's their last night together, and you already know at the end of the episode they're gonna get infected, so it's trying to build a relationship as much as they can.
Yeah,
Basically, like how episode 3 did with Frank and Bill, like. Well, you didn't actually expect both of them to die, but you still had to build a relationship as much as you could in a backstory.
I think the thing that made it work a lot, this might just be. I think what made it work a lot better with Bill and Frank was it might have just been the actors involved.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Like it felt the performances felt better. I think I think okay, Bella Ramsey would I think Bella Ramsey and I don't know the other actress's name.
I don't know either, honestly.
I think they were good. They were both good in the episode. Just something felt a little stiff when compared to Bill and Frank going through. Which like maybe it's just my bias towards Nick Offerman because he's incredible.
Dude, he's Vaughn Swanson. You can't compete with that.
Dude, I don't know if I said this in the last.
You did. Yeah. The government's Nazis.
No, not that. I said this like when I was talking with my buddies. we were talking about Bill in there. I was like, dude, they basically just got gay Ron Swanson in it, and it was amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know you did say that in the last podcast. But yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's still great.
It was amazing.
God, I fucking love him.
Yeah, episode 7, I would say is like I think it's the weakest episode.
But like, it's still good.
Still, like that's the thing. Is like it's good. I think it's on the lower end going through because episode 5 with Henry and Sam was really good.
That was hard to come out of, man. That was hard. That was hard to come out of. I couldn't handle some emotions.
I will be honest. I saw some people like okay. It was partially me too because I wasn't quite getting it with whatever her name was in the episode 2 as the antagonist. I had something felt off about her at the time, and then we got episode 5, and I was like, okay, this feels much better.
Yeah, because then you actually get the reveal that Sam did literally everything, even if it meant like, oh, Henry, god damn it. Yeah, Sam murdered a man.
Yeah, Henry turned in the lady's brother, who was like the leader of their resistance group, so that he could get medicine for his younger brother.
Yeah.
To keep alive. And the lady just like after that, she just straight up adopted a "fuck them kids" attitude, and I low key loved it. Like I'm not gonna lie, that's the kind of shit I love in my villains.
Right.
At certain points. Or it's like there's more to her, but she's also straight up fuck them kids.
Right.
And I did like how I liked how they adjusted things for that episode too, like where they go up to the sniper in that episode. They changed it around because in the game you go at them during the day. And so in like it's a lot easier to the game mechanics are designed so that if you stick out too long you'll get shot, but if you go quick from each point you won't get shot. It's a scripted sequence, and it helps to
basically
ramp up, and it helps in the interactive part because you're getting through, so it doesn't feel like anything like how it would be in a movie where it's like, oh, okay, they're like avoiding it in the daylight. The guy's a bad shot, and they did extra in the show of like it's dark, so it's already harder to see people at night when you're going through, and then they do an extra justification for why the guy was a bad shot because he's an old man, presumably shaky hands as well.
Obviously, yeah. I did like how Joel can like easily tell that the dude has no fucking aim.
Yeah, like that was I liked that. I liked that change going through. It made it feel a lot more believable. And then I also really enjoyed I know some people will get mad because I like these when these are clever nods to the games that don't make it feel like all of a sudden Joel is a really good shot, because in that sequence, right when the infected come out and it's chaos and everything, Ellie's life is on the line. Joel starts raking up the shots. I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. It's like I'm good at games. I know my shots. Like during this sequence, when I played it, I was hitting money. So like when Joel does it, it doesn't bother me going through. I'm like, that's how, and it feels like a good nod to the games.
Yo, what that infected do though?
Dude, they
Dude,
like
in the fucking car when like she was doing like whole fucking gymnastics and everything, like twisting the body around it. Like that was insane.
they got like an actual contortionist.
I know, dude. Like honestly, I did some more research on like the whole sequence, dude. Apparently, like a lot of the infected were like practical. Like the bloater was like almost completely practical.
Which is like really cool, actually.
Yeah, I looked at the actual like on-set design, the on-set suit, and it looks so fucking cool, man. I love it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like how it wasn't just all CGI and these are like real humans doing it, because like they even said in the, kind of behind the scenes look at the end of every episode that there's something that you can't take away from like real human movements if you were doing CGI.
Which is really cool. Like, and speaking of David, actually, that newest episode.
God, what was it, like episode 8?
Yeah, that's at 8. All right. I have one small gripe with this episode.
Go ahead.
And I think they lingered on Ellie chopping up David a bit too long.
All right, see, here's the thing. I
think that was like the point.
Yeah.
But I think the game did it a little better because they lingered on it long enough, and I kind of take a little bit of issue with their words in the behind the scenes thing they did of like, we didn't want Joel to come in and save Ellie. This was her thing. When he didn't save her in the game either. I think that moment in the game, because she is, when she's chopping up David, they're going, Joel gets in there and basically stops her from chopping him up and is like, whoa, I'm here. Like,
right. Yeah, I can see why that might be a bad thing, but at the same time, I think it does help when, like, it kind of does prove David right when he said that you have an evil heart like me, and that really does go a long way when looking into, like, how Ellie becomes in the future.
It does. The thing is, I think they would have been effective if they just cut it like 2 seconds sooner, because the thing I felt in that scene wasn't just like, I got the point they were going for. Like immediately I got the point when she just starts piecing him up with the cleaver and is just hacking away and screaming. I'm like, all right, I get it. It goes back to it. And then they kept going and I was like, all right, you're hitting me with it over the head now. Like,
yeah,
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, it's like there's two very easy sides to it, and both sides really result to it's just a hard scene to watch. And I think whether or not you like it is really just all subjective, because at the end of the day, it's a hard scene to watch. It's a hard scene watching this child spend this much time literally chopping up this man who has just said before that she is evil like he is, who eats people for survival. So it is a very hard scene to watch, but whether or not you think it's okay or whether or not you like the scene is really all subjective. I'm personally okay with it. I think it fits the theme they're going with and how Ellie becomes in the future, but obviously it's also okay if you don't like the scene that much.
Well, yeah, and they're doing a lot more groundwork in this game in this show, to set up season 2.
Right,
Like,
right.
they're like, they know they're getting to season 2. They're doing a lot more groundwork. This Joel is a lot softer than game Joel is. He's a lot
Yeah,
more open
definitely.
to talking to people. And so there's a lot more, a lot of things that go through it that will make it work. And then like some changes, like the episode with Tommy, when we go to Jackson, I liked that episode going through of well, first off, I loved the family that we see in the beginning of that episode. Where
Yeah.
he's like, why didn't you shoot him? Gun's over there. Like,
Yeah.
uh and then like the changing Tommy to actually have a kid coming was an interesting choice. Um because I wonder what kind of role that'll play in season 2. And maybe I think what they're going to change around as well is to have, I think what's going to happen is they're also going to change season 2 to work where the original opening they had for the game was going to be there.
Right.
That's going to be what season 2 starts with. Is we'll get like maybe an episode or two with Abby's crew chilling at Jackson. And that's the other thing, is like, I wonder if they're going to introduce Abby like the same way they did Dina in episode 5, because like game players will recognize who Dina is from episode 6. She's the girl, for if anyone who doesn't know, when they get to Jackson and they're eating and Ellie looks at another girl and is like, what are you looking at? And the girl runs off. That's Dina.
Okay.
And she'll play a role later. But with the finale episode, that's supposedly what? It's like 48 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot to get in those
yeah,
48
that because it is the last episode. Like it's confirmed to be the final episode, so there's a lot to go through. You have to get to the hospital, and then Joel has to like find a way to save Ellie. Then you have to escape the hospital. Like it's a lot of groundwork to cover.
Like I'm assuming, I think they will do this. I think there'll be some scenes with the doctor as well as Abby in there with and with Marlene. Like they'll splice in some stuff from from Last of Us 2, some of the flashback stuff in there. That's definitely going to be a thing. So it's very it's very up in the air for how fast the next episode's going to be. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
like
very curious.
at one point, it like on one hand, it is great to see like how much it. Like I think that they'll do a really great job at doing it, considering how good they are at pacing these episodes. But at the same time, all that done in 48 minutes is a little scary.
Yeah, like that's the things. Like for now, we've only had what I would say is like one hiccup in pacing, and that's just episode 7.
Right,
And the rest of it, the episodes have all been paced really well. So I'm curious how this is gonna turn out, because you could still pack a lot into a like short episode and not have the pacing feel like we're running at the flash speed. So like I'm cautiously optimistic, because I don't think it'll be bad, but on the same deal, if they don't stick the landing exactly, it'll feel a little off.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of the Flash, I've been rewatching the Flash lately. Because I know because season 9 has to come to Netflix yet, and I don't have a CW, so I can't really watch season 9. And I was thinking, so
Free.
I'm
You can just
trying
watch
to
it.
find the exact spots of where the show fell, and I think I've figured out where the show fell.
Is it season 3?
No, actually, I think that the show fell like really hard Like the show started a very slow incline in season 2, episode 20, title Rupture. The Rupture is the episode where Iris finally opens up and she says, "I've been thinking a lot about us, and maybe we can start dating." That is the exact point where things start slowly going down the spiral. You don't realize it yet because like the dating aspect hasn't like really synced in yet because they have to deal with Zoom. But then when season 3 hits, you really start to understand Iris and Barry having a relationship is the worst possible idea imaginable.
I don't know why although while I do enjoy the dynamic with Barry and Joe, and I think that's a heartwarming father-son relationship, especially in the first seasons.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was a very weird choice to have Barry live with the Wests and basically have Iris be his sister.
Yeah, like they even point that out. They look, man, the same person who made the comic panel where Peter says that MJ his sister is the same person that thought that Barry and Iris having a relationship was a good idea. You can't tell me otherwise. And like the thing is, like I don't like hate the idea of Barry and Iris being together because the actual setup to it is really well thought out, but it's just the fact that of the situation that they were in, because Iris's feelings realistically started all the way back in season 1 when she was still with Eddie.
That episode where he first time travels. I still like that episode.
That was a really good episode. I'm not gonna lie, that was a really good episode. And that's
season
like
1 is really solid.
That's like where Iris's feelings really started, and you don't think about, and you start to forget about it after you come back and things have changed, and Iris doesn't have those feelings anymore. But then it gets even harder to watch back at season 2, episode 20, because then then Barry asks, well, why haven't you said this before? Why haven't you brought up this before? And she says, and I quote, "I wasn't available in that way."
I mean, honey, y'all grew up together, so like, right?
I wasn't available in that way because she was already marrying Eddie. So it sounds like she was forcing herself to marry
2.
Eddie.
It's Spider-Man 2 all over again. It's MJ and John Jameson. It's happening again. The demons, the voices. No, it's happening because, dude, Eddie is a
Eddie's a Chad, man. I loved Eddie in season.
Right?
I'm sad. Great. I'm sad that he's gone because he was really great.
He was a great part of season 1. I really enjoyed him. He was a stand-up guy, and man, I miss him.
Yeah, I miss Eddie.
I miss the season 1 and season 2 suits.
Okay, listen.
Okay, hear me out. The season 8 suit is basically perfection.
Yeah. The season 8 suit, chef's kiss.
Or season 9 suit with the boots, actually.
The boots are really good. I do like the boots. Well, the boots did also get introduced in season 8.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, no, they are introduced like halfway through season 8.
Yeah, the Flash with boots and then like a bright red suit.
Yeah, it's great. The season 1 and 2 suits aren't bad. I do like the season 2 suit a lot better though.
I really like the season 1 suit for its fabric and texture, like the way it's built. I really like it where it has like more of a hard leather on the chest, or like not really hard leather, just like more solid leather on the chest, and then the arms and the legs are like look like a more breathable and movable fabric. I really like that. And then I think all it really needed to be like perfect in that first season was you take the cowl that we have in season 8 right now, because chin strap on Barry is very nice.
Yeah, I do like the chin strap.
You take that cowl from season 8, you put it on that first suit in a fabric that matches the arms of the first suit, rather than it being rather than the cowl being like the same leather that the chest has.
Right.
And then you slap on some nice boots, some nice yellow boots. You slap on a nice belt that has the colors, and you make it a brighter red or the same shade of red that he has right now. And I think you have another peak Flash design.
Yeah, I really do like the design. I think that that is a really good combination for the designs. The season 3 suit, I think it's like basically the same as season 2 suit, which is still good. Season 4 suit fucking sucks. I hate it. I hate everything about it.
I liked the brighter red.
I did like the brighter red, but there's too many separations, right? There's too many
there was too much hard leather on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's too like it looks too like plastic.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but it did get us to like it wasn't a bad suit.
It did lead us into the season 5 and onward suit. Well, the season 5 wasn't that great.
The season 5 body part of the suit.
Yeah,
because the season 5 whole is
it's a little PJ's vibes.
That's not how you do a non-chin strap look for Barry.
Yeah, but I love the suits, and honestly, I do still like the Flash because I'm still rewatching. I'm still on season 4. Like, in season 4 isn't that bad, but it's really just the Barry and Iris stuff I hate.
Like apparently, the actress for Iris is, I guess, really tough to work with.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that. I've heard a lot of that Candace Payton just overall just a terrible actress to work with, and that really is showing by some of her performances, because especially in season 4 episode 2 when they have couples therapy, and you can really tell that
disappointing.
Yeah, it's really hard to watch some scenes with Iris, especially when she says that, "How could you leave me? How could you leave me to run into the Speed Force to save the entire world?"
Yeah,
and then Barry apologizes Barry apologizes for that whole scenario. Like, no, you had to save the planets. You had every right to run into the Speed Force, and it was your redemption to redeem yourself from Flashpoints. That is all your responsibility. You should not be apologizing for it. God, I hate Iris. She's better in like season 5, but she's so fucking terrible in season like 3 and 4. And that's like the worst part, is that Iris from then on starts being the main focus of Barry's entire character. Like, they take the quote, "We are the Flash," to a very, very, very literal sense by season 8.
Yeah.
God, but I miss old Flash, but fuck, what were we gonna talk about? Oh yeah, Marvel stuff.
Oh yeah, all right, quick, because I am running out of time.
I know.
I have to go cook dinner.
I know, that's my fault, but yeah.
So no, it's okay. We both got off there. But so the news is Daredevil Born Again has begun shooting. It's just been confirmed that John Bernthal is coming back as the Punisher, which is yay. Always, yeah. We like him. I think he was better in he was better in Daredevil than he was in his own show. But anyway, the big news that has everybody in a tizzy, because we can't just look at things and not irrationally act anymore, or react. We can't just take a breather, think for a second. Foggy and Karen are reportedly right now not been confirmed to return. The actors that portray them, Deborah Ann Wool, and then I don't remember the actor who plays Foggy, because I like Deborah Ann Wool and she was in Ragnarok, so I recognize her.
Right.
But yeah, they have not been shown to be part of the show right now. People saw that, lost their minds, and immediately have basically written off the show in a sense.
Well, the thing is, I think I do understand to a degree as to why people are a little upset about Karen and Foggy are returning, but aren't returning, but Punisher and Jessica Jones are, because I think what worked with Karen and Foggy is that you got to saw that more grounded, humanizing sense for people who don't have to live through that superhero life.
Well, yeah, and like
you
that's
still
the
get that from
importance.
Daredevil, Punisher, and Jessica Jones, but it feels a little more grounded when you see someone like Foggy or Karen helping out in more ways than just beating up bad guys.
Oh yeah, like it's definitely like that's the strength of the supporting characters in pretty much every
Yeah,
superhero stuff. Like I mean, if you look over at the Daily Planet cast in Superman, they're very important.
yeah,
Peter Parker's whole supporting cast, if you get rid of them in a lot of while you can tell a good story without the supporting cast and just, you know, Spider-Man versus and Peter versus the villains, for a longer storytelling arc you want to have those that supporting cast there to help ground things going. And it's the same deal with Daredevil, and Foggy is a huge part. The thing I have, like, I'm more reserved on this, and like I'm not, you know, freaking out because they're adapting the Mark Waid run of comics, where in that run it was a more lighthearted tone, which they've said they wanted to go for this show.
right. Obviously,
And
which
then
is still understandable because Matt Murdock is not just a life of tragedy. Stop.
like he definitely has more misery going on because he's more self-destructive.
I
Like that
know.
is absolutely him, but it's not, you know, all doom and gloom all the time.
Exactly.
Man is the resident man whore of Marvel. Like this man gets laid
Exactly.
because it's God's day. But anyway, uh, the run they're adapting has Matt. Also, for a time he went down to San Francisco without Foggy. Foggy wasn't a part of that little story arc, and he had a different supporting cast for a
Right.
bit.
And
He was
that's
in San
fine.
Francisco.
That's fine.
And
I think as long as they have a supporting cast other than superheroes, then I'm completely fine with it.
yeah, and that supporting cast was pretty fun. And we know Foggy is still there because in She-Hulk he says, you know, we do mostly pro bono work when he's describing his firm to Jen
Yeah.
in the episode. So it's like, calm down, guys. I get it. Let's all just take a breath, because also they just started filming a 9-month filming schedule.
Right.
They're not doing all the episodes at once, and they're
Like
not
how,
gonna
like
record all
honestly,
the
that's
episodes.
like the funniest thing I've seen with someone like with some people who criticize like schedulings. Like people just think, all right, guys, done with the first episode. Let's go ahead and make the next. You never
Like,
leave the studio. You never
there
leave. You eat, sleep, and breathe the studio.
there are certain times where it's like, you know, you do film some episodes out of order, but that's mostly because it's like, all right, what scheduling can we get done?
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, the directors are busy, the actors are also busy, they have other commitments going on,
Yeah.
and it's like, when do things like hit the right time? If we're filming an episode where it's like winter, but we want to get like the authentic thing rather than, you know, creating it in a snow machine, well, we're going to have to put off that episode because we started filming that episode, even though it takes place like, even though it's like episode 2,
Right.
we have to put it off because we started filming at the tail end of at the beginning of fall. So
Right.
we
Like
can't film that episode yet.
like honestly, like I if you want to really better understand how I guess the pipeline works of filmmaking, just go watch the Odd Ones Out video on animation. And I think you have a good idea of what it's about. It's like a similar concept, basically. Not everything's going to happen like all at once.
Yeah, and so it's like all right, calm down, let's just take a breath, enjoy the fact that we're gonna get the Punisher and then Kristen Ritter back, and who knows, maybe we'll get Finn Jones and I can't remember, is it Mike? Yeah, it's Mike. I'm trying to remember Luke Cage,
Luke,
actor's name.
I don't know.
But
I haven't seen Luke Cage in a while. I don't think I've actually seen Luke Cage. It's been a minute.
hopefully we get all of those actors and characters back because they deserve another shot. They're really good casts for the
Right.
characters.
And
I
like,
want to see Luke Iron Fist
and like
together.
let's stop pretending that people aren't going to eat up Daredevil, even though Foggy and Karen aren't in it. Like they're still gonna love Daredevil.
Well, the funny thing is, like, I I remember back on the internet, like looking up after I watched Daredevil season 3, I remember people like didn't like Foggy and Karen that much in the show.
Yeah.
And I was confused because I loved Foggy and Karen in the show.
Yeah.
And so I was just so confused, and like coming on and seeing the overwhelming amount of people being like, "Oh, Foggy and Karen aren't there. It's the end of the world. The show's gonna be terrible." And I'm like, "You can't have Daredevil without Foggy." I'm like, okay, you can tell stories because like you can. It's possible. You don't need to have
exactly
X, Y, and Z. Like the funniest one I saw was like making a Daredevil show without Foggy is like making a Spider-Man movie trilogy without mentioning Uncle Ben. And oh wait, and I'm like, okay, let me just crack my knuckles and explain to you why that is such a dumbass take for Spider-Man.
Like,
but
honestly, like you can have things be motivations for these characters, but they don't need to be explicitly stated or mentioned in every single source of media. Like you can just
like,
you don't need all that.
Like, what if we do a Spider-Man trilogy, kind of like the Batman, where it takes place? He's just already in college. He's Spider-Man, and the whole thing revolves around him getting ready to marry Mary Jane. And it's like, all right, how do I do this? You don't have to bring up Uncle Ben at all in that.
Exactly. But honestly, I'm excited for Daredevil. Stop acting like you're not either. You're gonna eat the shit out of Daredevil. We love
Feasting.
Daredevil.
I got my brother to start watching season 3 again because he hadn't finished.
Yes, season 3 is the best.
Good shit.
But anyways, I think that's a good place to wrap up. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Be sure to check out Zero's social medias and screenplay in the description below because it's amazing. Go read it, please. I'm always gonna have that in the description.
Yay, I appreciate you, my boy.
Yes.
And go check out his Patreon. He's got it.
Yes, literally just subscribe for like $1 a month and you get pretty neat stuff, I think. I have to recheck the actual gifts because I forgot it. But anyways, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're always notified when future content releases because my upload schedule is very inconsistent. And I will see you boys in the next one.
Bye.